7:03. Our unofficial official secretary is taking notes. All these things. All right. So, Mr. Former Secretary, you offered to do attendance. Will you please do attendance?
Yeah, Chair is obviously here. Vice Chair is absent. Secretary, I'm not sure whether I'm absent or not, but anyway, I'll put myself as absent. Affiliates, absent. Outreach.
Here.
That's Jim. Yeah.
Outreach is here, yeah. Present. Legislative.
Here.
Communications.
Here.
Campaigns.
Here.
Membership. Absent. And I know that treasurer is vacant and fundraising is vacant. So there we go.
All right. Oh boy. Let's move on. So we'll open the floor for public comment. Is there anyone, either in person or online, who wishes to make public comment? If you are online, please raise your hand. That helps me call on you. Generally, I can see around the room. I know Mr. Atwood's dying to give us an update.
Good evening. My name's Frank Atwood. I'm chair of the Approval Voting Party. First, a respectful Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Thank you for your service. Second, my wife and I are hosting a potato party Friday evening at 6 o'clock. If you need details, call me or be here and take an invitation here at the Independent Institute. The last point is this coming Saturday, the Approval Voting Party at noon is going to have both a celebration and a strategy meeting to plot out our intentions for next year. Primarily, the goal is to lobby successfully for enabling legislation for approval voting and proportional representation to be used by municipalities and other political entities. So that's about it for the Approval Voting Party and my social life. But Monday attended the SOS hearing. Look forward to hear from the other attendees if we've heard anything from the judge yet. With regards to Tuesday's election, I look forward to Ross Ulbricht being released and a Libertarian being appointed to the Trump administration. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Atwood. Congratulations on your Congressional District 4 vote totals, coming in just behind me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I know my place.
Mr. Lamb.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to be here to share the great news out of Keansburg. We had our board election. There were 5 openings and 6 candidates, and my 3 strong allies got first, second, and third place, including Terry Wallert, who is a sustaining member of our party and is very excited to come to convention. So that brings our total for elected Libertarians on the board to 3. And I'm very hopeful at least one of my other allies is going to be changing her affiliation soon, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But also just wanted to share that I'm also the chair of the Candidate Support Committee at the national level for the Libertarian Party. Very excited about what we have coming up. Very excited about our goal is to get 350 Libertarians running in local winnable races, and based on the percentages of races, we should win 33% of the time. So that will get us at 100 new elected Libertarians within the next 2 years. So this is a very ambitious goal. I think it's one that we can accomplish. And just to highlight the real reason running a local race is so important and easy compared to a congressional race or even state level, Terry spent $400. That was it. And she got second place and almost got first place, but literally missed it by 3 votes. So I just want to encourage everyone to consider running local winnable races. If you're interested, you can go to the Libertarian Party's official website. Under the candidate section, you can fill out a brief survey, and our team will reach out and help get you connected and on the right track to be the next elected Libertarian in your area. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lamb. That's very exciting. Heensburg, which we've renamed Freensburg. They're bringing freedom to Weld County. Mr. Wiley, your hand was raised, but now it's not. Did you want to make any public comment? Yeah. Do you want to make a public comment?
Yes, please.
You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to join for the board meeting. We've had a very interesting month so far. Just a quick update on some of the legal aspects for our guest, Mr. Atwood's sake. If you lobby, let me make sure we can add that person. Thank you. We were dismissed, not dismissed, but rejected by the District Court of Denver, the 2nd Judicial District in Colorado, in our petition to have essentially a hand count and to decommission the voting machines which were affected by the BIOS leak. Since the rejection of our petition by the District Court, 3 different districts within Colorado, their district attorneys, have opened criminal investigations into what happened there. So we're starting to see more and more dominoes fall. And these are Republican or conservative counties which are looking to the Libertarian Party and the example that we've set on accountability. And a lot of words have been said. A lot of, tweets have been tweeted on this subject, but we have not seen a lot of action except from the Libertarian Party. And I think this aspect of leading the confrontation of the abuses of the state is a very positive trend, and I'm really proud of the party and in that degree. And I'm also grateful for the opportunity to participate in that and to do my part in ensuring that our attacks and confrontation is as effective as possible. We did file a Supreme Court brief with, because it's an original jurisdiction under 113 with the U.S. Supreme Court for any appeals of the district court. We did file that at 11:58 on Friday night. And while the court wasn't open today.
Colorado Supreme Court, correct? Not the.
Yes, Colorado Supreme Court.
US. I'm like, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I've been there before too. That's no fun. Definitely a much later night as well. So we were able to get into the Colorado Supreme Court. It'll be accepted tomorrow morning, hopefully, and be granted at least review, in which case there'll be a briefing. They'll have the opportunity to respond. They'll have the opportunity to reply. And then hopefully there will be a hearing before a decision. It's possible that they could rule without a hearing. It's possible that they could refuse to accept the petition for review, in which case it would be straight out probably early this week. And we would have no further recourse beyond that appeal to the Colorado Supreme Court. So it's kind of where we are.
Mr. Loria, did you have a question for Jim?
I guess just to add on to that, James, I saw an article that a Denver district attorney is launching an investigation into this as well. So I don't know if that's in what you were including or not.
It's the 2nd Judicial District in Denver, the 4th Judicial District in El Paso Teller, and one other district, I think Park County, I want to say, is also pursuing a potential investigation along those lines. And I'm really encouraged by that. Of course, we're not just going to let them do their thing. They're as prone to engage in a cover-up as the Secretary of State or Attorney General, in fact. So we're not going to leave it to them in this case, and we're going to pursue our own means. The Supreme Court appeal specifically addresses the request that they identify that the Secretary breached her duty, and that's the only thing we're asking for at this point. The count is over. We're not asking them to decommission machines at this time, but we do want a determination that she breached her duty and release these passwords. The ultimate goal of that is to force her to resign and to hold a special election in her position. That could be a lot of fun for us.
All right.
Oh, and
well,
I do want to just
over 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Sorry. I want to welcome Ashley and welcome Ben also. Thank you guys for coming.
Is there any further public comment?
I'll return my proxy to Kirsten.
Yes, I see a hand in.
Kristen's here,
and
yeah.
it's
Hey,
I don't know your name, or I'd call on you.
That's fine. My name is Hans Gullickson. I usually attend, or I should say infrequently attend, the Arapahoe County meetings. But I did want to stop by here. I am working with a number of small businesses, specifically convenience stores. I don't know if anybody is really aware. I know a lot of people have been very focused on the elections, but the city and county of Denver is considering and will be submitting a bill to ban flavored nicotine products. That includes, menthol cigarettes, premium cigars, pipe tobacco, and all vaping products, basically. So part of the thing of working with them is they always feel very alone. Obviously they're always going to be outspent. Michael Bloomberg spends over $100 million a year on tobacco-free kids, and it's just people who are like, hey, let's give adults the choice. And a number of these businesses, up to 30-40% of their business comes from the sale of adult products, and so there could be closures, hours being cut, you name it, with the increased minimum wage. They're just getting squeezed, and so just kind of making an appeal. If anybody feels so inclined to reach out to a city council member in Denver, or just give some encouragement to some of the owners. I work with the 7-Eleven franchise owners, and some of the other groups. Like I said, they just feel very alone. They just always seem to be on it on their own to fight it. So I'm just kind of making an appeal. Obviously, I know people are tired after an election, and it's the last thing I want to do, but is ask anybody to send an email or make a call or speak at a public hearing, which I believe will be December 16th. But that's why I'm here on their behalf. So thanks for indulging.
Yeah. We should get you connected with the legislative director, Mr. Vance. I know that you're on the call, but I don't actually see you. There you are. Wow, you just appear.
Can I give you my info? Can you give me your info? What would you prefer? Just if anybody wants more info.
I can connect.
You're
You
muted.
can connect me afterwards. Okay, perfect.
We all have.
Okay. Thank you for showing up and letting us know. We'll look forward to working with you. Mr. Wild Forester, your hand was raised.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to turn that off. First time doing that. Have you talked to the local NAACP about any of that? Maybe getting some of their members in on that motion, or getting some local support there about the nicotine ban?
Oh, the nicotine ban. Yeah, we are working with some of the more those groups. The NAACP actually supports a ban. So they're not somebody we're reaching out to, but there are other black groups that are more, willing to say, stop, treating black adults who choose menthol as children. Let them choose what they want. By the way, this doesn't ban all tobacco, just flavored. So,
yeah,
which includes menthol.
Crazy. Well, thank you. Thank you. So if there's no further public comment, we will move on. Let me pull up my agenda. Sorry, it disappeared. Now we need to move to the approval of the agenda. We do have additions to the agenda tonight.
I understand the two additions. One is from Michael Vance for a resolution about Free and Ross. Am I correct on that? And then the other, is we want to expend $500 for the Region 1 reps, like we did like a quarter ago or so.
Yep. Those are the additions. Is there any objection? Are there any further additions? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Congratulations. We were also sent the minutes from our previous meeting. I hope everyone's had a moment to read those and look over those. Are there any corrections to the minutes from last month? Anything at all?
They were just perfect.
It's good to know you're so perfectly well done as a secretary. Hearing none, the minutes are standing approved. Is there any county representation tonight that wishes to speak on behalf of their county affiliate? No. All right. Well, we just went through elections, so everyone's tired. Now we're to reports from our LNC representative. I know we had Mr. Garcia on the line. We still currently do. Mr. Garcia, is there any updates you can give us as our Region 1 alt rep? Are you a rep or an alt?
Yeah, I am a rep. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you to everybody in Colorado who did run this past election. I know everybody's probably super tired, so I'll make it quick. On the LNC side, we are working through some projects to specifically the Zoho project that will be released and functioning here shortly in the next few months. And then from there, will be extended out in multiple phases. And hopefully by next election, you'll have some really cool functionality available to you as candidates and as state parties as well. Additionally, we're working through some other projects and initiatives to increase some of our membership and donations within the different committees, as well as within the board itself. And then one of the other things that I know you all probably have heard about is that there was a trial, and our previous secretary has been voted out of office, or not voted out of office, but we voted on the trial to have her excused from office. Now she has the ability to go to the JC, and so there's process additional for her to be able to appeal. And it's a very unfortunate, but I have very limited amount of information I can share because that was all an executive meeting, and as well as we weren't able to release the investigation committee report. So I can take any questions or follow-ups if anybody has some, if you want me to.
Is there any questions for Mr. Garcia? All right. Well, thank you so much for giving us that update, and I will let you know how the funds for your, the monetary gains for your travel funds go tonight. So thank you so much for
your I appreciate that. Thanks for mentioning that.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Moving on, we're just going to blast right through this agenda tonight. So board reports. We haven't really been issuing board reports. There's been a lot going on. Mr. Aiken's been really sick. So we're just going to go through real brief, give a synopsis of what we've covered over the last month in our respective roles. So a huge portion of my time has been taken, obviously, with all of the court cases. We took the Secretary of State to court, to district court in Denver because of their passwords breach. We asked for a hand count. The judge ruled not in our favor, but we are appealing to the Colorado Supreme Court so that we may try to get a ruling that she actually breached her duty. So according to the law, we have good standing for this. So tomorrow, the Supreme Court will receive it, and then shortly after we will figure out if it's going to be heard. They're going to make a decision, anything. Maybe they won't even hear it. So we won't really know anything until, tomorrow or the next day at minimum of where we stand with that. I ran my race. I have the second highest vote totals for Congressional District 4 for a Libertarian ever. So I'm really proud of that. Another really big thing that happened with this election cycle is that with the Liberty Pledge, we had 2, possibly 3 successful races where a Libertarian backed out of the race, making it a two-way race between the Republican and the Democrat. And Gabe Evans, who made a deal with Eric Joss and signed a form of our Liberty Pledge, won in Congressional District 8, unseating the Democrat who won through our spoiler previously. So Congressional District 8, 2 years in a row, is 100% a spoiler district if we want to use the power of the swing vote politically going forward. So we're really developing this strategy of leaning into the swing vote, and I'm really excited to see that happen twice in Congressional District 8, where their vote totals were so close, and the first one being that it was cost by a Libertarian. We have Ryan Gonzalez, who came to convention, who didn't sign the pledge, but said he would uphold all of those things should he be elected to office. So we're really happy that Mr. Gonzalez has been elected. The next race would be Rebecca Kelty down in the Colorado Springs area. I'm not sure the House district. I want to say it's like 16 or 15.
16.
16, yeah. Right. All right. I had that right. Congratulations to me. So we are still waiting for that race to be called, but it's looking more and more like she will take that district. And she is a pledge signer as well. I spoke with the Republican Party this morning. We're looking at how we can victory lap the pledge that we crafted and the deal that we made. So potentially we'll be getting some more eyes of the press on us, which the only way to be relevant politically is to be up in the news cycles and cultivate and build relationships with the press. And over these past 2 years, we really have done that very nicely as a party. So I would just like to thank all of the candidates who have run and who ran and made deals and had pledge signers. Without all of you, we would not have been able to execute so well and collect as much data as we're collecting. So thank you to everyone. And I would like to say thank you to Alicio Gonzalez for running a really good race in Arapahoe County for county commissioner. My vice chair is not here tonight. His proxy is Mr. DiBiasio. But I just wanted to get that on the record that we're just so proud of him, and he did really great and walked a ton and knocked a lot of doors. So moving on to the vice chairman report, Mr. DiBiasio, you have the floor.
Hi, thanks for having me, guys. I'm proxy for Alicio Gonzalez. His total time spent on his campaign in October was about 132 hours on foot. I mean, he put in the yards. He met with members of State House and the Aurora City Council, and he attended hearings with for the Secretary of State, and he talked to news sources about the needs in Aurora post-election. So it looks like he's focused on the Tren de Aragua situation, and he's working with City Council to figure out a way forward.
Excellent, thank you. Well, Mr. Secretary, that's my former secretary. I'm not going to have you speak because technically you resigned. So
yep.
We don't have a treasurer currently just yet. By the end of the night, we will. And so I'll move on to affiliates. Is Mr. Nilsson on the line yet?
Yeah, I'm here. There's not too crazy much to update here. Weld County, I basically just need to drop the documents, and I have a good lead on a YOW chapter at UNC, and obviously anywhere I go, I'm hoping a YOW chapter will directly translate to an affiliate. It's just an easier starting point to create something. So I basically just need to draw up the charter for the affiliate there, and that'll be pretty much good to start going. For Larimer County, we actually have some good leads on a YOW chapter at CSU as well, so I can hopefully turn that into an affiliate too, although much less distance there. But still, we have a potential president for that chapter, and I was meeting some other people around town, so there's I know there's some libertarians there, even at the Northern Colorado Liberty on the Rocks, who could help as well. So some good stuff there as well. I don't know, other stuff was just like I door knocked a bit with Brandon, and we're gonna table in Pueblo tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be good. Or not tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Jim will be joining us for that, so that should be pretty good to help get some reinforcement there. I can't think of what else. I don't think there's much else that's relevant. It's been a lot of just kind of grassroots stuff this month, which unshocking considering what this month has been. So
yes, thank you, Mr. Nielsen. We'll move on to Mr. Loria for campaigns.
Thank you. I do want to also give David's I'll race a shout out here in Senate District 31. I feel like he's getting cheated a little bit because the Democrat who just won is resigning to take a position at a private company, and now that position will be sent out to the vacancy committee there. But at least at the moment, I just had this pulled up. I'm sorry. It was 14,231 votes for David and his race, which is very incredible. Honestly, I mean, our candidates overall were on par, and I think politically we accomplished, some things this season. I think about 6. If there are a couple of Republicans who do win their race, I think we'll have 6 who sign pledges or willing to work with us, and there are people already in positions already starting to talk to those people. So we'll definitely, we'll hold them to those pledges. I mean, looking through all the data, I now think that Denver will be an easier place to crack than Jefferson County. Jefferson County continues to go even more blue. Although, and then on a weird off chance that something is actually accomplished, you never know. If there is somehow a hand count, we will need people to hand count all these votes, but that could be a fun thing. So there are a good amount we learned from this year that we're still working out, and political strategy. But I mean, you can't say it wasn't an exciting election. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And then Colorado, I guess, was the only state in the nation to buck the national trend and went more blue. California and New York went more red, but apparently Colorado went more blue. So take that however you want.
Mr. Aiken, your hand is raised. Do you have a question for Mr. Loria or statement?
Well, I'd like to say a few words about my race. I was disappointed. I only got 15%. I did get endorsed by the Republicans, and my vote totals were basically the Republicans plus a few else. I don't think I made any inroads in the unaffiliated or anybody else. As a result of this, though, I think we're missing a big part of being successful by not having any presence in the neighborhood groups like Nextdoor or Facebook or whatever it is for our district. And I have some ideas about how to build a presence in that, and I'd like to maybe talk offline with the campaigns and the affiliates director at some later time.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Aiken. All right. So let's see who's next. Mr. Marinovich for communications.
Yes. Nothing much to add at this time. Obviously been replying to all the press releases and responding on social media to the result of the election and in our lawsuit. So that's what I've been doing with most of my time is, we got a lot of earned media from the lawsuit. I'd have to pull up our analytics, but on X, we went viral essentially. So got a lot of press there, a lot of impressions, a lot of new followers. I'm seeing a re-energized core fan group on our X account. So there's a lot of new regular fans that are now engaging with our content. A lot of disgruntled Republicans in Colorado that were frustrated that the Colorado GDP didn't do anything are now really big fans of us. So I'm seeing an uptick there. And then I don't know if anyone has the total money raised, but I'd like to say that I had a hand in helping push for donations and getting this lawsuit funded. So
Yes, I meant to ask Mr. Wiley what we were up to as far as that, because I lost count. I don't have a total on how much we raised, but it was been pretty impressive. All right, moving on to legislative, Mr. Vance.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, I try over the last month, I really tried to push on a few different campaigns. One was a ballot harvesting initiative, because legally you can take up to 10 ballots, including your own, to the ballot box. So we have an opportunity to 10x our ballot counts in what we're doing in our local races if we just sit there and take the opportunity to talk to a friend, talk to a neighbor who's not going to vote, and just say, hey, these are the reasons why you need to vote from a liberty perspective. And because there's still a lot of people out there that don't take the time to vote, it's a way for us to do it, regardless of whether you are a fan of ballot harvesting or not. Those are the rules, so we need to find every single possible avenue for advancing our ability to push liberty and get a higher ballot count at the ballot box. Another thing that I really tried to stress was we've been really trying to push, now that election season is to discuss ways to get people involved locally. So I created an email, and I'm going to send out a couple tweets as well, just getting people to start looking into applying for vacant board positions, because there's a lot of local board positions that nobody actually takes the time to get involved with. A lot of people want to, if they're interested in getting involved in politics, they want to, their first thought is to go ahead and run a race, when a lot of times it might be better to actually apply for a board position through your county or your local municipality, and you'll really learn a lot. It's a really eye-opening experience for you. So once you do that, you have a resume. You're really starting to build a resume to advance your political career. Another thing that I worked with was a lot of the another thing that I worked on with was the ballot initiatives. Erin King was a rock star, and she really helped me out, and she helped us submit a series of emails to send out to the state to let everybody know about our ballot initiatives, about Aaron, about Brandon Work and myself's video that we filmed about a month ago discussing all the different ballot initiatives. She also sent one out that had the ballot guide that Brandon created. So that was fantastic. So I'm sure she's not watching, because why would you? But I really appreciated that Aaron took the time to really get a series of emails going for me. So that's what I really tried to work on. So
yes, very thankful for her and her work. She definitely hasn't abandoned us to our own devices, thankfully. Last board member would be Ms. Steinke for outreach.
Hello. Yeah, so a lot of Liberty on the Rocks and helping out with all my various committees that I'm a part of, marketing, political, all of that kind of stuff. You guys all covered all of the headline news, so I'm just sort of doing my regular thing and trying to help you guys out wherever I can.
Yes, you've been very helpful. Thank you. All right, we finally made it to the beef of the agenda. Yay! It's only 7:36. So we don't have any special orders, we don't have any unfinished business, but we do have new business. So first and foremost, we have the secretary resignation to accept and the secretary election. I believe we have already accepted the resignation. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we kind of, the next two items, like the two items we're going to work on in the agenda is Mr. Buss is going to would like to move from secretary to treasurer, since that's been so vacant. He's been really taking on those duties for us anyway. And so we now have a replacement for Mr. Buss, which will be coming next with Mr. Williams. So I'll need a motion to accept Mr. Buss as our treasurer. Do I hear one?
I motion to go ahead.
No, all you, Michael. No worries.
I move to accept Ben Williams as the next treasurer of the Libertarian Party of Colorado.
No. Ashley Buss.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I move to accept Ashley Buss as the next treasurer of the Libertarian Party of Colorado.
I thought Ben was going to have a kitten.
Oops.
Meow is all I can say. Meow.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Not all at once. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any objection to why we should not have Mr. Buss as our treasurer, since he's been doing it anyway? All right, hearing no objection, that passes. Thank you. So, Mr. Buss, you have now moved from secretary to treasurer. You have my condolences.
Thank you.
Which brings us to our next order of business, accepting a new secretary. So tonight on the line, we have Mr. Williams, who has stepped up to take the place of secretary to help us. I'll open the floor for you, Mr. Williams, and you can just give us a little look into why you'd make a fit secretary, why and how are you a libertarian, all of these types of interesting things.
All of the fun stuff, huh? Well, thanks guys for having me, and thanks for the invitation. This wasn't something I necessarily solicited. It kind of came to me through the back channels, and after thinking about it, I thought it might be fun to try to help out and see what's going on. I am not experienced at the political, level as you guys are with the party, but I do believe I hold libertarian values. I think I mentioned before in a previous conversation with Hannah and Jim that on a phone call that I look at myself as kind of a Jeffersonian libertarian, and at the end of the day it just boils down to treat others how you want to be treated, and I think that also includes allowing others to make the wrong choice. I think freedom is the right to be wrong, and as long as you're not harming anybody else, then go ahead and be wrong or be right, be whatever you want to be. It's none of my business. So I'm just here to try to help. I think I'm probably going to need to talk to Ashley some, which would be great to reconnect and find out what it is that this job ultimately entails. I understand there's some minutes taking. It looks like maybe curating the agenda and obviously participating in these meetings. I'm hopeful to get more active over time. I've been fairly busy. I'm an intellectual property attorney, so sometimes the workload gets pretty heavy. But then there's stretches where it's less intense. So my hope would be to be able to balance this and move more as we manage, the schedule, so to speak, get this on the calendar. So as time goes by, I'll hopefully be able to get more active and support you guys in this mission, which I think is important. And it's an exciting time to join. I mean, I watched I wanted to come down to the hearing, but unfortunately I got stuck at work. But I got the live stream link from Jim Wiley, which is very kind of him to send. And in the end, I ended up just watching it. I didn't do any work, so I should have probably just come down. But I don't think I would have been able to get in because it was standing room only down there. And by the time I would have arrived, I probably wouldn't have actually been able to get in. But I found it frustrating to watch, to be honest with you. I thought the judge I thought she made some bad calls in sustaining some of the objections that the Secretary of State's counsel was making. And I understand kind of why she was doing that, but it didn't seem to be, not admitting the other fellow, I forget who he was, from Alabama, as an expert, I thought was also a bit frustrating. I would like to have heard what he had to say, and I think his testimony should have been taken as an expert. So, nobody wants to see anybody's career destroyed, but I do think this was negligence per se. I mean, I think there's, I don't think it was necessarily on purpose. I hope it wasn't on purpose, but I wouldn't, say that maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it should never have happened. And I think that, it's good publicity for this party as well to be doing this, to be standing up for the rights of the election. What could be more important? I said this to somebody else recently, and then I'll shut up because I know it's late and you guys have, the end of the election, everyone's tired and everything. But if your credit card information is breached from Home Depot, Visa immediately kind of cancels the card. They don't wait for somebody to put it on the black web. They don't wait for a false purchase to be made. So isn't the election more sacred than the dollar? So I don't know why these machines weren't at least put aside, or why other ones weren't replaced, while pending the investigation. It is just a bit of arse covering, probably, and I hope it's not more nefarious, but I'm old enough and jaded enough at this point that I don't disbelieve anything. So that's another reason I'm a libertarian. I don't disbelieve anything.
One of us. All right. So, is there any questions for Mr. Williams from any board members?
Nothing? Excellent. Silence reigns. So I'm basically gullible.
I think he can take our minutes. I think he can prepare our agenda. I think that we'll be moving right along. So I will entertain a motion to appoint him as the Secretary of the Libertarian Party of Colorado.
I would move that we accept Ben Williams as the Secretary of the Libertarian Party of Colorado.
Second.
Second.
And seconded. Is there any objection?
The objector automatically becomes secretary, right?
Yeah, that's the rules. So either way, you're stuck, Ben. All right.
Well, guys, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service.
Yes.
I appreciate it. And I know I've got large shoes to fill. And I mean that literally. Ashley's got big feet.
Yeah, the big feet. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
You know what they say about men who have big
Oh,
feet?
no. Come on. Be clean.
They wear
Be
big
clean.
shoes.
All right, so with that, the next order on the agenda was the resolution for Mr. Vance. Mr. Vance, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. Whereas the Libertarian Party of Colorado stands firmly for the principles of individual liberty, limited government, and justice for all. Whereas Ross Ulbricht was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole for nonviolent victimless crimes associated with his creation of Silk Road, a decentralized online marketplace that emphasized personal choice. Whereas Ross Ulbricht's case represents a troubling overreach of the state's authority and a severe injustice against an individual who sought to expand freedom in an innovative, albeit controversial manner. Whereas the Libertarian Party, both at the state and national levels, seeks to use its resources and influence to advance the cause of liberty and challenge unjust actions taken by the government. Whereas the Libertarian National Party has the platform, membership, and resources to advocate effectively for Ross Ulbricht's clemency as a prominent example of transactional politics that serves our principles of liberty. Be it resolved that the Libertarian Party of Colorado fully supports the Libertarian National Party's efforts to pursue Ross Ulbricht's freedom as a means to promote individual liberty and stand against government overreach. Be it further resolved that the Libertarian Party of Colorado encourages our national party to actively leverage its influence in the public sphere, engage in campaigns, and work with other organizations, allies, political parties, and policymakers in advocating for clemency for Ross Ulbricht. Be it further resolved that the Libertarian Party of Colorado sees this advocacy as a form of transactional politics in the name of liberty, using our party's resources to demonstrate a commitment to individual liberty and justice for the benefit of those oppressed by executive state power.
Thank you, Mr. Vance.
You are going to send me a digital version of that, right?
Absolutely. I'll send that to you right after the meeting.
Okay.
Yes. So we have a resolution. I'm trying to think. Do resolutions need a second to pass? Where's Jim? his brain.
Yeah, I think resolutions, as long as we all support it, they're fine. They don't have to be seconded. Like,
Okay.
But we got a hand up with Dave, so Dave may give us his infinite wisdom.
Asking me? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So is there any objection to passing this resolution as a board? Hearing none, I guess that's resolved. So then the last item on the agenda is approving $500 for the travel expenses of the region reps. And we have given them $500. So there's several in-person meetings for the LNC, and there's an in-person meeting coming in December. Part of our agreement with our regional reps was they asked to have help facilitating, having to travel and take on the responsibility of being our regional reps and appearing in person at these meetings. So there's two of them because we are in the super region. So we have two people, and so that would be $250 a piece. I will entertain a motion if we want further discussion or would like to vote on this.
Are we just voting as a block for $500 and then they split it however, or you want him to be okay? So
yeah,
I would
send it to their fund.
Yeah, I would move that the LPCO expend $500 to the Region 1 reps to help offset some of their travel expenses.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Is there any objection? Hearing none, that passes. So that's great. They'll be excited for that. It really does help. It's a tough economy. I hope that we get the contact information from the gentleman who talked with us about banning of flavored tobacco products in Denver. I want to just be sure, Kate, we've got that perfect. So I will once again open the floor for any further public discussion or comment. All right, perfect. So the next meeting will be the second Monday of December at the Independence Institute at 7 p.m. with the online option. So with that, we are adjourned at 7:50.
Yay.
Jacob,
Thank
please
you,
call
Ms.
me.
Williams. Jim and I will, and my vice chairman, really, will be in contact with you to get you onboarded probably as soon as tomorrow.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. And I'll reach out to Ashley. Ashley, I think I've still got your number. Can I just double check, or do you want to shoot me an email, or shall I email you?
I don't care. 303.
Okay, let me check. I've got your number.